So yesterday's demo, that whatever we are seeing, right? So I had just, after the class, I just looked into that for around 30 minutes and I changed something. So what I will do, I will create another one because this looks messy. I have, done like here and there things. So let me create another one and from there I'll just explain you. Scanner. Okay, and before we discuss this one, wait. There are a few concepts we need to understand. Okay, because it includes few of the concepts that we have not discussed yet. Okay, so before we go further and so, I was able to do the searching thing yesterday in one way and put this, and then search slide, and then, read few of the stuff. So to do that, actually, I use something called Global Send Key events and Global Send Key, which we have not discussed yet. Okay, that was something necessary to use because of the nature of this web application. Okay, so let me talk about that concept first, so that when we see that in action, it won't be surprising for you. So there are two concepts in there are two ways we can send key. For example, if I get a navigate stage here, okay, and double click on the navigate stage, and for example, I am dragging and dropping the main element here. Okay, so if I want to send some key here, for example, to this application, what I want is, so for example, after entering, for example, Chennai or MAEI enter, so Chennai came. What I want here is, it was not working because we were not doing it properly, and it was a longer task to do it properly. So what we'll do is that we will enter M first, then A, like this will enter. So all the list will be populated. When this list gets populated, what we'll do? We'll press the down arrow button once. Okay, you can press the down arrow button multiple times to reach to your whatever you want. I'm pressing the down arrow button once, then I am clicking on the enter, right? And again, here also, if I want to CCU, for example, Kolkata, whatever list got populated, again, I'm going to press the down arrow button and then click enter. So till now, we had not discussed about how to press the down arrow button or enter, backspace, caps lock, and all of these things. We had not discussed about that, in our previous lecture. So that is something we need to talk about. Otherwise, it will be confusing for you. So for that, I need to wait. I hope all of you have, opened one account in Blue Prism portal.
No, not yet, Prem. I'll open one today.
Yeah. Open it once because this is necessary. I'm just going to download this. Okay, let it open here. Otherwise, you'll see here. Send key and send key events. We are going to discuss about this, so I need this. Okay. Now, I'm passing this. We have to find a way where we can pass the different buttons from the keyboard. all the buttons that you see in the keyboard, we need to pass somewhere. So when I say buttons from the keyboard, obviously Tab, Caps Lock, Shift, Control, Control S, or Control Z, Control C, Control V, all of these are, either keyboard like strokes or combination of keyboard strokes. Along with that, all the letters also, for example, this M, A, so I can also send those letters like A, B, C, D, and I can consider these also as the keystrokes if I am sending from the keystroke. So when we were using the right stage and we were writing ABC, so I can also send A from the A as a keyboard stroke, B as a keyboard stroke, C as a keyboard stroke also. So all anything when I am sending from the keyboard, we'll see how we can send the keyboard stroke, okay, along with all the different buttons, all the special buttons as well, okay. So when we are going to discuss this, there comes another concept in Blue Prism, okay, and that is called thin client and thick client. These are two concepts we need because of this one, let me tell you. So when we use the navigate state, double click on that, and I want to send some keystrokes to this application, for example. Which application? Skyscanner application. I want to send some keystroke to the Skyscanner application. Okay. So as you can see, there are two, action here. One is called global send key event, and one is called global send key. So what is the difference? Okay. One is called global send key events and global send key. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Yesterday this was not coming. Now how is this coming today?
Which one? This global send key.
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday what we are doing is that we were taking the from one, and from we were taking the global send key and global send key events. So basically the global send key and global send key events only come from the root of the element. You have to pass it from the root of the element only, then only it will come. Okay. You got this one, right? So I'll tell you how to do. So for example, then there is a question here. If it comes on the root of the element, then how can we decide if we have to enter keystroke here or here or here? We need to tell Blue Prism where to put the keystroke, right? But if we are putting the keystroke at the root of the application, where exactly the Blue Prism will enter the keystroke. So that will come to that. We'll discuss that. We'll see that is in fact what I have done. That we'll see how I have put keystroke to here, and anywhere I like. So anyway, so there are two stuffs here: global send key events and global send key, and both are used to send keys to the Blue Prism application. So what is the difference? To understand the difference between global send key events and global send keys, you need to understand the concept of thin client and thick client. Okay. So what is a thin client application and what is a thick client application? The difference is the thick client application is any application at your host level. So for example, your machine, whatever machine you are working on, that is a thick client application. Okay, your machine, whatever machine we are working on. However, a thin client application is an external machine which you are connecting through a virtualization software. For example, you have a project of any company. For example, Disney. Disney is a media company, and if I am handling their project, for example, I need to connect to Disney's network to program on that. Getting some background noise actually. Saxi, if you have joined the call, I have put you on mute, so you can unmute and speak whenever you want. Saxi, you are in the call?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. Okay,
Hello.
fine.
Yes.
Yeah. I heard you. So you can go on mute, if you're not speaking.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so one is thin client and one is thick client. So as I said, thick client is basically your machine, whatever machine you are working on, and if you have installed Blue Prism in your machine and you are interacting with different elements in your own your own computer only. So Blue Prism is being used to, for example, whatever we are doing till now is an application is an example of thick client. So for example, we are interacting with VLC or any Internet Explorer. We are opening some web browser and doing a lot of stuff, and in our own computer only. So all of these applications are thick client applications. However, thin client applications are the computers that we connect to virtualization software. Okay, not our own computer. So for example, as I said, if you're working for any company, Disney or Mercedes, project, or Bank of America project, any project that you're working upon, and you are connecting through a virtualization software like Citrix. So it can be anything. It can be, you can connect to Citrix or whatever you have, whatever virtualization software your company use. Or for example, what I connect through, some of your computer I connected through that TeamViewer software. So that also can be considered as a virtualization software because I connected to your computer through my computer, right? So there's a virtualization agent in between so that I'm able to connect and view your laptop, okay? So for these kinds of applications, these are called thin client applications where we do not have direct control for the computers, but we are accessing remotely from our own computer to access those client's computer. Okay. So here concept like concept of your global SAN key and global SAN key events. So if you are trying to automate a thin client application, for example, when you are doing a Citrix automation or automation at a virtual level, then you will be using global SAN key events. Okay, global SAN key events. That case will be using global SAN key events. And if you are using a thick client application, which is like our own computer, that time we'll be using both global SAN key and global SAN key events. Okay, we can use both. So this is a concept. If it is a thin client application, we'll be using global SAN key events. However, if it is a thick client application like our own computer, we can choose anything between global SAN key and global SAN key event. So, and these are used for sending keys. Okay, so this is a concept here: thin client, thick client, and when global SAN key events and global SAN keys will be used. This is a scenario. And in our example, we can choose between anything, global SAN key or global SAN key events, because this is a thick client. It's our own computer, so we can choose to use anything. Okay. So any doubts here? Fine, right? Okay. Okay. So let's see that. Let's see how I have pass this key and how I made it working. Okay. So let me delete this navigation state and okay. So first, from location to location, one way and such like this is we already find out about this, right? And few of the other stuff what I have done is title, departure, and arrival. I'll talk about this. So for example, if I am searching for Bangalore to Kolkata, for example, and we'll see and we'll pick some data like we'll wait for some time, for example, this searching, and then we'll pick some data. We'll pick some data from here, like some data from this list of all the tables. Okay. So first let's understand how these things happen. So I can create another one side by side so that we can make it a little bit beautiful. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, this is new only. So what I will do is I will just explain on the way instead of creating again from the scratch. I will explain on the way. I'm not sure what these things are. Let me just delete this and make it a little bit, structural. Okay. So we had discussed till this point where okay. So yesterday, what we had discussed about is we are clicking the one way. We did this, so it was clicking the one way. It was fine. After that, we are clicking on. Okay. So after that, we are clicking on the From tab. Okay, we are just clicking center on the From tab, which is this one. We are just clicking here. We are clicking on one way, and then we are clicking on the From. Just a one click here. After that, click on From. Okay. Once I click that, after that here what I am doing that all of the signed key events. Okay. So how I am doing it? Let me just do it now. So I will just I'll just drag and drop a navigation stage first to here. So in this stage, what we are doing? We are doing a clicking on the From. So we are clicking on the From here. So our mouse is here only. Okay. Our mouse is here. So whatever we type, it will be typed here, not here, or not anywhere in this way, here only. So that is the reason we are clicking here. After that, we are sending keys. So all the keys will be sent to here. Whatever key you are sending, it will be sent to here. So how to send key to the application? Click wherever you want to send key. So click here or here, whatever you want to, send the key. So I'm clicking here so that I can send the key here. After that, what I will do? I will drag and drop the Skyscanner, root app. So you have to always drag and drop the root application for this to be worked. Okay. So let's name it as send.
So Prem, we are adding one more step, which is clicking on From. Earlier we were just sending something to From. Is that correct?
No. Earlier also we are clicking on From. Earlier what we are doing, we were clicking on From. Then what we are doing, we are using a right stage. We are using a right stage where, okay, I should have actually kept it yesterday. I have worked on the same one. So anyway, what we were doing yesterday is we were clicking on the From. Then we were writing on the right stage here, and let me drag and drop the From. Sorry, to the element, and the value you are passing was MAA. Right, this is what we were doing yesterday. So let me connect it here. And then what we were doing is we were again, navigating to the 2. We're going to 2, action as click center. And let's name it as click 2. And then we were again, using a right stage here to write something on the click. You got the point here? So what was the other one? CCU. Again, CCU. Okay. Write to data. This is what we were doing yesterday. So we are writing basically. So we clicked on the From. I clicked here. I wrote something. So it was writing fine. It was writing absolutely fine. Whatever I want to write, CCU or everything. Then I clicked here with this stage, navigate stage, click to. So I clicked here. Then I was writing here. So whatever I want to write, I was writing here. So the problem with this was, whenever I click search slide, it was not getting, persistent. It was not getting rendered correctly. So that was the problem we were facing. So whenever I, write something here, like with this approach, what was happening, let me just connect to search slide. So it got a little messier here. So okay, so what we'll do is we'll do a step over once at a time. So we'll see one after another. Step over, then launching the application, and then again step over. Click one way, so it will click the one way. It clicked one way. Then step over again. Step over again. Again step over. So see here, we enter MAA here, but it again reset to Bangalore. Did you see that? This is the problem we were facing yesterday. It was not getting consistent. Even though we enter MA, sorry?
Can you show that step once more, Prem? Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so I'm doing it one by one so that you can see, okay? So, okay, let's do that once again. Step over one at a time. Launch application, so it will launch the application. So I'll just minimize it so that you can see this. And then once it is launched, then the next thing we are doing is we are clicking on the one way here, click one way. So yeah, it clicked one way here, then it will enter MAA here. So click on from. So now if I execute this, it will click here on the from, it will click. So execute, it clicked here. You see the highlight came here because it clicked here. Now I'm going to write. What I'm going to write? I'm going to write MAA here, and I'm going to, after I'll write here, I'll go here to write the two destinations. So I'll write something here. It enter MAA here. So when I go here, it should basically populate this field, whatever the MAA short code is there. So if I go to the to data, now if I click on the to data, here I'm going to click now. See, I clicked here, but the MAA got reset to BLR. So that the value was not getting, rendered there correctly. So what we'll do now is, after we enter MAA, we will click one arrow down like this and click enter. So these two key will enter. We'll enter MAA, click the arrow down, first down arrow once, and then click enter once. You got the point what we are going to do here instead of this event?
Yes, understood.
Yeah. So that is what we are going to do to keep this data. So this data will be rendered properly. Previously we were just entering MAA and we are going away without performing any action, without selecting this like this. So that is the reason it was not getting rendered. So we have to select this. We have to do a, enter or, mouse click or something like that. So we have to do something. So how I'm doing that? So that event I am performing like this. So let me just keep it aside. So this part I will take it aside because I'm not using that, and delete this arrow and this arrow here and enter it here. Okay. So this part we are not using. I guess it will show some error that missing link. That is fine because here we are not connecting everything. There are some links missing here, so that is fine. We'll just remove it. So now what we are doing is that we are clicking on the from. So we clicked on the from. Here we clicked it. After that, what we'll do is, let me name it as send keys. So what I'm doing in send keys is that example only I was showing, I guess. So in the send keys, drag and drop one navigate stage here. What it will do to pass all the data, double click, get the main application. So you always, enter keystrokes to the main application, okay, not to any from, to, and everything. So this is something what we were doing yesterday, okay. That is the, that is the reason I was not able to select the global send key and global send key events. All these global send key and global send key events will only be available at, at the root level. So no matter what you want to pass the data, you have to click there, then pass the data at the root level only. So let's select, for example, global send key events. Okay, global send key events. First, what data I want to send? I want to send the MAA. So I will just write MAA here because I want to send MAA first. Next step, I want to select the down array and then enter, right? So MAA, down array, enter. Okay, whatever, I just selected MA, but MAA, down array, and then enter. Okay, this is what we are going to send. The first thing is sending MAA. Okay, I'm sending MAA from here. Now, I will send another key here. So what I will do, I will add another row here. Add another row, same on Skyscanner, global send key events, and here I am going to send the down key, down arrow key, right? Down arrow. So there is a way to send it. We'll discuss about that. And the third step is again Skyscanner and global send key events, and I'm going to hit the enter from my keyboard. Okay, so I'll send the enter. So let's see how we can send all this all this stuff from the keyboards. Entering MAA is very fine, very easy from the keyboard. I'll just write MAA. However, how to send the down array, how to send the enter, tabs, Control S, Control Z, all this, let's see that. Okay. So for that, you need to go to the Blue Prism, official website, portal.blueprism.com, and there is something called Guide to Send Keys and Send Key Events. Okay, you need to go through this for understanding those. So here, you can go through this, what is a global send key and what is a global send key events. Okay, and all of this theory part you can go through. I'm just skipping that, and I'll not be, like going through this theory part. However, I encourage you guys to go through this to understand more on the global send key and global send key events. What I will be, seeing is, which arrow is for which one. Okay, so for example, what we are interested in is the down arrow. So let's search for down arrow. So for down arrow, we have to send down like this. Okay, so I will be sending down. I'll be just copying this. Okay, it's not getting copied, so that's fine. So I'll be just sending down like this, curly braces, and then DOW and down. And because it's a text data type, I have to enclose that through double quotes, and that's it. For enter, let's see, what is the enter this one. Enter is enter only, or this symbol. You can use anything, but I will use enter, the keyword enter. So enter here, and then quotes here. Okay. So there are a lot of information that is available. So for example, you can you can press the page off here. Okay, PGUP. You can send the PGUP page down. Then if you want to activate the number pad, then numlock. Okay, so you'll send numlock like this. So how about tab is like this tab. Scroll lock is like anything you can send. So how can we send like Control S to save something or Control C? How to send combination of key? So that is something I'll show you. Okay. So this is the way you will be sending Control S and all like that. So see, for control, this is the one. For control, for example, this is the caps lock is the control. So let me search control. Okay, so this is the control. Okay, this the power button, the this power kind of symbol is the like the caps lock. Sorry, the control button. So the way to send the this one is upper this one and then S. Okay, so see here how it is sending the control, for example, control A. Type Blue Prism, then press control A. How it is sending? Blue Prism as a text it is typing, and then this symbol, the control symbol, then A. Similarly, if you are pressing control C, this symbol and then C. You have to you have to pass this key for control C, control V, control S, and the control shift alt delete, whatever you want to send. You have to send as a combination of the keys, whatever you want, and then the letter from the keyboard, S or C or Z or whatever you want. Okay. So you have to go through this. You have to go through the document to be comfortable with the different keys. So again, no need to memorize everything. The document is there. So whenever you want something, just go ahead and search here. Everything is available here, and you can just use that particular key. Okay. Understood this? How to use this data sheet of send key and send key events? Or any doubts here? So these are keys and these are codes. This you can get publicly, also if you search in Google also, you will be getting that. But Blue Prism provides it officially, so it's better to use this as a sheet for the whatever keystrokes you want. Okay then. So now that we know what keys to send in Blue Prism for the send key and send key events, let's see how we can send that, how we can send it for our application now. So now I am using those one for MAA here and for here down and here enter. So it will basically do the same thing. Okay. So in the send key, I have done here same MAA down and enter. So I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to delete this. Just showing how to do that. And then the next one is once I enter and selected this one. Once I enter and selected this one, now I will just click here and enter my to destination and do the same thing, nothing else. The same CH, this and enter. Okay, same one. So what I will do is that I will go to here. I will just write click on 2. So basically this will focus on 2 keyword, nothing it is not doing. On the 2 element, it is just doing the click center. That's it. So click on 2. So we are just clicking on 2. Now after that here we will enter something. So just use navigate and okay. So here the problem with this, there was one problem here. Let me tell you. So click on 2. So let's not use whatever I have done. Let's try to do it fresh. Okay, whatever what we are supposed to do. Let's do that. So I'm just dragging and dropping a navigation state, and for example, I'll be writing destination like CCU. Okay, and then this one. So I'll enter CCU here. Skyscanner. Action as global send key events. So again, why I am doing global send key events, because I can do anything. Okay, global send key and global send key events in case of a thick line application. Enter 2 data. I am entering the 2 data here. After that, what shall I do? After entering 2 data, what I need to do is that I'll again drag and drop. Global send key events, I will select the down key like this, down, and then I'll add another row for same Skyscanner, global send key events, and I will send the enter button with the curly braces. Okay, we are done with this. Now let's try to connect this. So we clicked on the 2, we enter everything. Then once you enter everything, let's try to search flight. This is a search flight event. So this we have already done yesterday. Click on the search flight part. Okay, so let's execute this and let's see if we are facing some problem here. So I'll just close this and I will just reset. One error is there because of we have not connected any link here. So we can go ahead and delete this. This is not necessary. This is what we are doing yesterday. And I'll just delete this. Reset. No error is there. And what I will do is that I will just step over. One at a time I'll execute. And we'll just see a side-by-side view of what exactly is happening. Then step over again. Okay. Step over. One way is clicked. Step again. It clicked on from. It entered. Click on. Then. Okay. What just happened? Okay. It should enter here. Right. Oh, sorry. If this is step out, so basically we need to do step over. So step out will basically complete your functionality. Step out is going to destroy everything. So it is going to directly search for this one. Okay. Step over. So this is, sometimes you will be facing this problem with Blue Prism that the application is already launched. However, the application will not be there. So, okay. Okay, it is not sending the key. Basically, it should send MAA here, but it is not sending it. Did we do some change when doing this? Click one way. Click on from, which is click center. Send key. Did you skip any wait stage or something? Wait, let me check. So it's entering fine, but the thing is, it's not entering in the what do you say? In the our debugging step, it is not entering. Here, it's working fine. Okay. So not sure what happens in debugging stage, but it's working fine here. Okay. Did you see that? Let me pause the application? Okay, I'll just pause the application. So it entered MAA here, and it just clicked on the the Chennai part. But it was very fast. I'm not sure if you are able to see this, but it is entering fine. Okay, so we are fine till this point. However, we need to work upon the when we the one problem that I was talking about is that when we enter the two data, I also enter the two data here. You see CCU I entered here. And I am doing the down key, and again I am doing the enter key, but it is not selecting CCU here. Okay, do you see? It is not selecting CCU here. It is just selecting the everywhere data. The reason to do that is it is working the same data. See here, the from send key, it is selecting MAA, down key, and then enter key. It is working fine. However, here we are doing the same CCU, then the down key and the enter key. It is not working, properly. The reason for that is when you go here, the main one, and when you select MAA here, the list is getting populated and you are just putting a down key and pressing enter. However, when you are going here and you are entering CCU here, you see there was this one initially, cannot decide where. Okay, so this is also, if I press the down key and enter here, this is what is happening. So see here, before it is very fast, okay, and this drop down here cannot decide where. This will also be clicked if you click, down array once and then click enter. This everywhere will get clicked. Okay, so this is the reason everywhere is coming here. Although we are doing the same stuff, this is the reason everyone is coming here. So what we'll do alternately is that we'll send one key at a time to make it a little slower. We'll not make it very fast, because if you make it very fast, somehow this is getting clicked. See here, I'm entering CCU very fast. So it was a little slower this time, but again, if it is very fast, then this will be taken place. Cannot decide where, this will be clicked. So it will be everywhere. So what we'll do is that we'll send, CCU one at a time. We'll send it one at a time. Like, whatever I want, one key at a time, one here, one here, one here. Then I will wait for around 1 second for this list to be populated. Then press the, down key and then press the enter key. Okay, this is something what I am going to do. Did you understand the, what problem we are facing? Any doubts here? And what we are going to do?
So it did not work only because it was fast. That's the only reason.
Yes, it was first, and there was an option here, cannot decide where. This option was not here before. So see here, if you see here, that option is not here, in the from. So in the from, when we enter MAA here, we are only, this is the only one that is coming. However, if we go here, whatever option that we are entering, down key and enter, if we press one down key, I am pressing one down key, enter. So see, everywhere is coming. So we need to give it some time to be populated like this, and then maybe wait 1 second, then press the down key, then enter. This is what we are going to do. Okay. So to do that, what we can do is that, what I have done is that, it may not be the best way. You can change it. I have entered 3 keys, CCU like this, CCU. So C here, C here, C here, U here, so that it will take some time, like C, C, U, so that everything, like the list of like city only gets populated. Then I'm just waiting for 1 second here for the list to be appeared. Okay, so here I'll just, let's make it 1 second. 1 second is also fine. So I'll just, let's, it says static wait. We are just waiting for 1 second here. After waiting for 1 second, what we are doing? We are entering the down and enter key. Then we are entering the down and error key. Send down and enter. And here, let's make it to enter to data. So I'll just delete it, the one that I was showing you a demo of. Enter to data. I'll just delete this one. And from here, I will enter to data. So I'm entering CCU, waiting for 1 second, then clicking the down array and the enter key. Okay? Any doubts here, guys? Whatever we did. Let me know if you are, if you want to understand something. We'll do it, here only once again.
No, Prem, looks fine for now.
Okay. So I hope others are also comfortable with this. So now that we are done with this, we'll just, execute till this point. How to execute till this point? I'll put a breakpoint here. I'll put a breakpoint here so that it does not run after this point. So let's now let's run this. MAA Chennai, then see here that was coming. So that is the reason. CCU, then Kolkata. Okay. So now it is working fine. And now the breakpoint is, so it is not searching for the flights. And now what we'll do, now that we are successful in doing this, these two. Now we'll search for the flights. Okay. So what I will do is that I will just remove this breakpoint. Search for the flight. This is something we already did yesterday. Search for flight. So just search. Just click on search flight and then that click center. Okay. That's it. Now what we'll do to extend this application is few of the very simple stuff. So once we are searching for the flight, for example, let's click search flight here. Okay, so be careful about this one. It will, it will come, many times. Cannot decide where, and if you are pressing, down key and selecting here, that it will always, make it everywhere, not the destination. So a little bit careful here, otherwise everything is fine. So CCU here, select this and click on search flight. Now, if we search for it, you can see we're taking a lot of time. So we'll just wait for some around 10 seconds because we don't know, right, which element to be. We cannot make it a dynamic weight. We cannot make it a dynamic weight because, all these lists are getting populated only, right? We cannot make it dynamic because dynamic weight is something we do when some list, we are waiting for some data in the website. But every data is getting populated here. Only thing is that
sorry Prem, I didn't understand why we can't use a dynamic weight.
Okay, so what I'm telling you is that okay, you can use a dynamic stage if you're finding something useful, but the thing is when I'm using a search flight, normally in dynamic weight we wait for something, right? So here, see here, it got loaded and everything gets loaded. Actually, for the first time when we do, I'll clear my cache and show you. For the first time when you do this, so what elements you will wait for? Any idea here? What elements shall we wait for if we make it a dynamic weight? We need to wait for some element to be appear in the website, right? So that we'll be sending tick exists. But here, the way this website works is, it gets populated one at a time, like Indigo or Vistara and everything is populated. And it takes some time for fine tuning. And here it appears. Here the result appears for fine tuning. So it takes time for getting loaded. Not that the page is not loaded at all. It takes time for this list to be, rendered properly. So let me just show you. So what I will do is that I will take an incognito mode. Maybe it will take some time here. Just look, it will just, go away very fast. So have a good view here. I'm entering here, okay? See, okay, searching is fine. We can put a dynamic here, no problem. But I'm talking about this one. See, check 29 of 30. So sometimes it takes a lot of time. Check 1 of 30, check 2 of 30, 3 of 30 until 30 of 30 it will populate, okay? And this, we cannot take a dynamic, result here because this search continues when this list gets populated. This list will be there and this, search will be done, okay? So this is the reason. If you want for this searching, let me click here. That's the intermediate searching, this searching. If you want for this searching to wait, obviously, you can make a, dynamic this one. And you can maybe wait for this or this or this to be appear. I'm talking about this search. There is a search, there is a very fast result is getting populated, but sometimes if you're doing for the first time or something, this result also takes a lot of time. So for this, you cannot take a dynamic stage because you will not find the element to wait for. What element do you wait for? You don't know because this list, takes time to be populated, to be fine-tuned. However, if you can obviously take a dynamic stage for this searching. This is absolutely fine. You can, obviously take. But for this line that got and this rendering that is happening and this thing, you cannot take a dynamic for that. You understand what I'm telling you? Which one, which exactly I'm referring to?
Kind of, Prem, not fully.
Okay. Like maybe you will understand when you do that. What I'm telling is that this particular result takes some time to be populated. Okay.
So dynamic weight, is only for a specific item. But here also the item
So
is
dynamic,
specific only, no?
which is the item here? Specific one?
No. You're talking about dynamic wait is only for a specific item.
Yes.
Dynamic.
So dynamic wait, what we do in dynamic wait, let me show you. So dynamic wait, what we do is, so for example, I'm waiting for something. So okay, here only I'm doing. Okay. So search flight I'm doing. After search flight, I'm waiting for some time to be populated, and I'm just waiting for 10 seconds. So in dynamic wait, what happens? We'll wait for some element to be displayed on the website. So for example, I am. So this is not a good answer, but I'm just giving you a demo. For example, we are waiting for the from to be exist. So what we'll do in dynamic is we're checking for the from element for existence. So if the from element exists in the page, then do that. As soon as it appears on the page, just do that. Okay, just load the page. But here we are not sure about this element. We are not sure about this element. Which element we should wait for? You got my point here? Which exact element we should wait for it to be appear on the screen so that we'll make it dynamic. We don't know that.
Okay.
So that is the reason. So what is happening here is, let me just clear the cache. Maybe, yesterday it was taking a lot of time. So for example, now I should go to Skyscanner. So there are two instances here. For one instance, you can take a dynamic wait, and for one instance, you cannot. So for example, Kolkata or this one here, or here the list will be very small. So let's make it Bangalore, and let's make it Kolkata. Okay, we're searching for 27, for example. Now I'm clicking on search flight. Okay, search flight. This you can wait for. This you can make it dynamic. This searching. This is absolutely fine. But this one, check 5 of 3, 10 of 30. See here, it is taking a lot of time here. We cannot make this dynamic. See how much time it is taking. Searching kiwi.com, then check 21 of 30 providers, searching cheapticket.in. It is taking, around 10 seconds to be populated. We cannot make it dynamic because everything is loaded here. We are not waiting for anything. Everything is already loaded here. But again, it is fine-tuning something. It is just, checking the best deal or something internally. You got the point. So that is something we cannot make it dynamic. So that is what I was talking about. Okay?
Okay. So the dynamic, cannot be any text that it needs to wait for, or it has to be a specific.
It can be, but in this case, you cannot take a text here. So for example, here you are waiting for SpiceJet, but Skyscanner can, next time when Skyscanner runs, maybe Indigo is running with the, list price deal. So you are waiting for SpiceJet here, but SpiceJet never comes. So you will get an error, timeout error.
Okay.
This is because of the nature of the website. Okay, this website is a very dynamic website. Maybe here SpiceJet is coming first, and maybe after 2 minutes, Indigo will come here, or some other, airlines will come here. So you cannot wait for the, if you are checking that the first item is Indigo, then, as soon as the first item is Indigo, load the data. You cannot say like that because this is a very, dynamic natured website. So that is the one, that is the reason. And everything rest, for example, this left side panel, and we don't care about the right side, these are advertisements. This left side panel, this top banner, everything is pre-populated. So we are not waiting for this. We are waiting for this list, and this list is completely dynamic. Okay. So this is the reason we cannot make this one dynamic, and we have to, put some static wait there. Anyway, so let's put some static wait here. So I'm just waiting for 10 seconds there, and not taking any element. I'll just remove everything, just a static wait of 10 seconds. After that, I have gone a step further. What I have done is, let me just show you that. So it's a little bit tricky here. So title, right? So for example, we're taking the what I want is, for example, if I want to extend this application and maybe I want to, get the Indigo here and the from this 735 here and the 955 here. I want to get this data, for example, in my data item. And maybe later if I want to write to some Excel sheet or something. So that is a different part. So if I want to get the title, there's a problem here. There's a problem that I faced. Let me tell you that by adding the element. So let's add the element called title and identify. We're going to get the title. Okay, so it is hovering over the title fine. Okay, so what I'll do is that control left click. Okay, I already have a title, so let me make it title 1. So I'm making it title 1. Okay. Okay. So now it is TML mode. I'll take this one. Okay, I'll take this one. How to take this? Control and left click. Control and left click. I took that one, and then departure and arrival is very simple. You can take this. I did not face any issue with departure and arrival. So for departure and arrival, what we'll do is that departure 1, for example, let's take identify, and then let's take this value here. Control and left click, and just remove the unnecessary one. And let's add for arrival. Let's make it arrival 1, identify, and then control. Hello, you're able to hear me now? Hello?
Yes, Prem, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I got disconnected actually, so I joined back. Okay. So how to get the arrival attribute? So we'll remove all the unnecessary attribute here apart from path. We cannot take the ID also here because the ID is empty here, so no point in taking the ID. And the class name is it looks like it's like laginfo time. It looks like it dynamically generated, and it doesn't look something similar. Okay, I have not seen class like this before, so I do not rely on again the class name because class name can be same for multiple elements. So we'll take only the path element. Okay. So the problem here, we'll face. Let me first, use this. Let's use this title also. So for the title also, what we'll do is that we'll remove the unnecessary one apart from the path only. So we'll take the path only. We'll take the path only here for the title also, and that's it. So I'll be using the title 1, departure and arrival. Okay. Then click apply and okay. So what we are basically doing here is that we will be, let's create a few data item here. This is what I had created before, so we'll not use this. I'll create 3 data item, 1, 2, 3, and let's name it, for example, title of the airlines, whatever airlines it is. This is the departure time, and obviously we have to make it as text only. And this is also let's put a text only, because there may be a 12 then colon 25 or something, and this as arrival time.
Prem, can you hear me? Sorry, I think I lost it in between when you move. I think something happened with your phone and you were out, and then I lost it. I missed something in between. Can you just explain it for a brief second, if you don't mind?
Okay. So what we're doing here is, Arun, that in the application model, I'm not sure if you got this part. We are identifying title, departure time, and arrival time. We're just identifying in the same way by clicking here, and we're identifying these 3 elements: the title of the title of the airline, the name of the airline basically, and the.
Yeah, I got it till the title. So what is the?
Yeah. Okay. The same way we are getting the the departure time and the arrival time. So we are getting that, and we just fine-tuned it for path only, because we found only path as a relevant information which can identify that particular attribute in the page. Others were not seeming relevant. ID and all were not present there only. So we just took all this. Then what we are trying to do is that this title, departure, and arrival will be output that to 3 data items. So I have taken 3 data items of data type text for title, departure time, and arrival time. Now we will process that and we'll write it to this data item. Okay?
Yeah, you can use a collection also there, right?
Collection? No, we cannot use collection here. Collection is used for a set of data. So for example, collection is something we cannot use here. So for example, if you are thinking that each of these attribute is flight information, and I can use one line for Indigo, one for Vistara, that cannot be done here, because this is due to the nature of this web application, because we will not get any symmetric data here. This is completely different. I will tell you a scenario where it will be collection, after this. This cannot be a collection because we cannot store it in a collection. So basically, if I use a collection here, so what you are telling is that you are planning to add 3 fields here. One is called title, and then one is called the from time, for example, and this is the 2 is arrival time. And if you are planning that, you will be getting a lot of value. For example, for Indigo, title to and from, and then for Vistara, title to and from, then Indigo also again to and from. This is not possible in this case, because this website that we're working on, that is not designed in that way. They will not give you a systematic flow of data. You cannot make it dynamic. Okay, it cannot be made dynamic. So till the time that I have worked here in this website, yesterday I just looked into this website, and I was thinking if we can make it at a collection way, and we can scrap each of this data in a single loop only, everything. It cannot be done, because this website, everything is dynamic here. There is no consistency here. This list is completely dynamic, and nothing is actually, changing. So normally what happens is, only when one element changes, we actually make it dynamic and we try to put it in a collection. But it cannot be put in a collection due to the nature of data of this, and this. These are completely different in terms of HTML rendering. So I'll give you a scenario where it can be collection. We'll see that. Just now I'm just going off the topic. For example, if you go to my website, and this is also a web application, our website here. And if you go to the blog section here, so for example, let's go to this one, Blue Prism versus automation and Venue versus UiPath. What are the differences between these three tools, for example? And here, this is a table. You see, this is a table here, and for example, I want to scrap all the data of this table. Maybe you can take this as a what do you say, a homework. If you are not able to do it, we'll do it in the next class. Go to this website, go to the blog, and click on the Blue Prism versus automation. This path you need to automate and get all the table data in a single iteration only. Do not take this and this, everything. You no need to take one by one. Get all the data and maybe store it in a collection or somewhere. Okay. So for this kind of application, this can be, we can use a collection here, and maybe we can, take everything. Maybe we'll take 4 fields in the collection. One is called features, automation anywhere, UiPath, and Blue Prism. And we will scrap all the data and write it to a collection with these 4 fields. So basically, 15 row will come in the collection. Okay, 15 row will come in the collection. So this is an ideal scenario of collection where you can use collection in this table, because Blue Prism provides us to scrap the HTML table data. This is HTML table. So if I go to inspect and just here, it's a table. So, table ID equal to table press 1, and then, it has a T head. This is called T head. So basically, if I go here, see, this is highlighting here. See, this is the highlighted. So this is a table header with different headers, and table will have a body with all this data. So this is a body. Each body will have one row. So this is one row. So TR. TR means table row. And each TR will be having 4 TD, which is called table data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 TD I have. So these are all table data. So this is very symmetric. As you can see, it's a very structured table, then table header, then table row. Each row is containing specific data. It's very systematic, and Blue Prism provides us directly to take the data from HTML table. So I can easily take this data and put into a collection. This is very easy. But if we go to this particular web application, and this is not something Blue Prism provides a direct support for, so we cannot put this in a collection. I'm not sure whatever I'm telling, if you are able to understand it, what exactly I'm telling. The reason for everything we cannot take is very simple. All of this grid here, these are dynamically generated grid. On the fly, this gets generated. This is a static value. In my website, every time you come here, this data you will get in my website. But in this Skyscanner, every time you come here and search for any from and to location, you will not get this data every time. This data will be changed every time you come here. Okay, based on the search result. This data is completely dynamic, so such data gets generated on the fly. When the website is searching something, this data gets generated. So for such data, you cannot do. Sorry?
Because the flight prices change every day, and they take it from different websites, so it gets changed. But can it not be downloaded? I mean, whatever might be the dynamic data, can we not populate all the data to an Excel sheet?
So that's what I'm telling. So it's difficult in this scenario, it's difficult to make it dynamic. Like, you have to spend a lot of time to see and find out the behavior of this, how exactly this is rendering, and make some research on the HTML part here. Make some research on the HTML part here, what exactly is happening, and you have to see if there is something that we can make it dynamic. Okay, so what I'm telling is that if I go to, what is this one? Okay, so if I go to the application modeler and see here, this is my path, right? So let me copy this path. So for example, let's paste it here. You see here, it is giving us this one. So you have to research on, you have to copy paste a lot of data and see, is there anything dynamic here? For example, for the second row, it is the same one, and only div 1 is becoming div 2 here. Okay, and for the third row, for example, everything is same here. and div 2 is becoming div 3 here. So is there a pattern to that? So, and if there is a pattern, how can I make it dynamic? Can I set the attributes here? All of the we have to do a research on. We have to find the HTML property, and is there a possibility? So if this is for the tag again. This is for the airline name. Again, you have to find out the similar structure for the from location and to location. Is there something I'm finding a relationship between? Because these are completely dynamically generated value. We do not have a static answer. So for example, this website is completely static. But here, a lot of things changes a lot. So maybe whatever you are seeing here, this may not be the case, some days later. This structure may change later. Okay, so this is the reason. Anyway, if we want to make it dynamic, I need to spend a lot of time on this website and see and research on the attributes. If you want, you can do that, and you can check out if there is a way to make it dynamic. Okay.
Okay.
Or there are multiple. There can be another way that you can do. So what you can do is that there is something called region mode. That is, we have not discussed, but I'm not sure if that is an ideal way, but we can do there. We can use a region mode here for also. So for example, in region mode, what happens is it will take a snapshot of this particular DOM. So what it will do, the region mode. We'll discuss region mode later. We have not come to that. It will take a snapshot like this. Okay. Then it will start reading from the image. So it will read it. This will read this, and write somewhere. Again, it will read here, and here, and write somewhere. It will start reading from the image. Once it read here, then you again have to maybe do a mouse.
Now the voice is not coming out.
Is it audible?
Yeah, now it is audible.
Yeah. So what I was telling you is that you can use region mode for making it to work, but again, that is not an efficient solution. I wouldn't suggest you to go with region mode. You can try to find from the HTML DOM element only if there is something dynamic. Otherwise, it is difficult. So specifically in this website, there are a lot of websites you can make it dynamic. You can scrap all the data and put it in a collection. But this kind of website, and for example, Facebook, where the data gets rendered repetitively and it is never same. The data is never same every time the page gets loaded. And this website also, this data is never same every time this website gets rendered for some result. So these kinds of websites, these are a little bit very difficult for scrapping data. Okay, so Blue Prism is not the best solution, I would say, to scrap such dynamic rendering of data. Okay, maybe you can, there is something called, if you are very much interested in this and it is a must requirement. So as I said, Blue Prism cannot solve each of the scenario. If you are very much interested to do this and it is a must-do requirement for your company or something, in such scenario, you may want to rely on a framework called Scrappy, for example. This is a Python framework. I have used this. This is a efficient framework, Scrappy. So basically, you need to install Python, then install pip, then execute this command pip install Scrappy. It will install Scrappy to your system. It requires a bit of, I would say, technical in-depth in Python. So maybe you'd require to outsource it to a Python guy who is good in this one. So this framework, this is good for scrapping data. Like these are called Web Spider. So they scrap data. And such dynamic website, I would recommend to go with Scrappy instead of going with Blue Prism. However, I'll check if I can get some better solution with Blue Prism. I'll let you know if that is possible. But at this point of time, I don't see a way. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now let's talk about this. Let's see, for example, if we can just get this data. Okay. this one, and this one. So others, any doubts here? Whatever we are discussing, any thoughts on this? Let me know. Or if everything is fine, then that's good. Okay, so okay. So what we'll do is that we're waiting for some time after searching the flights. We're waiting for some time. After that, we're reading the data. We're reading 3 data here. So for example, let's connect here. So we're reading the title 1, for example, and so there are different options here. How do I want to read that? So get current value. Okay, get current value here, and store in where is the title 1? Okay, title, departure time, arrival time. So here, let's store it in title. Reader 4, let me make it title only. And here, let's read the from time. So we're storing it in departure. Okay, element is departure 1, and we're storing it in departure time, for example. Unknown but text. Okay. Do we have to? This is text only. Okay, get current value and store it in departure time here. Read departure time, and the third one here, read the arrival time. Arrival 1, this is because what we have identified, data is get current value, and arrival time. I'm not sure from where this one came, value from arrival. Okay, arrival time, okay. Now let's try to connect everything. Once we load the flight, we're waiting for some time, and then we are connecting everything and end it. Okay, so let's see, how if this is getting populated. So I'm running it again. So waiting for around 10.
Yeah, go ahead. So when you're running, after this is done, can we just also go to goindigo.com and check, because I think there the data was tabled.
Okay, but we cannot take it now. You can take that as a homework and you can try that by yourself. Okay, because it is taking some time and we need to cover a lot of stuff. So it won't be possible to scrap every website. So you can try that at home. If you are facing any difficulty, let me know. Okay. So see here, what is the issue here? We got the departure time. So we got the departure time of the first website is 1935. We got it the departure time. We got the arrival time as 21:55. But we did not get the title here. You see here, we did not get the title, which is Indigo. So this is something I wanted to show you guys, why this is happening. And this is also a very good scenario. The problem with this is Indigo is that this is not a text. Okay, this is a text. This is a text, so it is capturing everything. However, this Indigo, it's not a text. It's a logo of the Indigo. It's an image of the Indigo. And Blue Prism cannot, read from the image with the configuration that we have done. There are different modes to read from the image. That is, we have not discussed yet. We'll talk about that. But in this case, we are just reading from the image. So you cannot just read from the image. So if I take a snipping of this and I just, snip this part, okay? And I'm telling you that just read this part, you cannot read it because this is not text here. This is not letter. This is part of the image. So, and reading the image, requires a it's completely other technology. It's called OCR, which is called optical character recognition, OCR. We'll talk about that. But till now, we have not discussed about OCR. So what shall we do? How shall we, read from the image? Okay. And again, there are a lot of, problems here. So for example, Indigo, and it is an image, and we have not discussed about OCR. We are telling, and we are not using OCR. That is fine. But if I go to SpiceJet, let me take the example of SpiceJet. If I crop this one, you see here, there are SpiceJet is written here, but also there are three, the inward coming image here, this part. So Blue Prism will be confused when it reads this part. Okay, we'll see example of this. Blue Prism will be confused when it reads this part. So SpiceJet is fine. There is something called SpiceJet, but Blue Prism may not be able to read SpiceJet because of this part, or it will write SpiceJet, but before SpiceJet, it will enter some junk value here due to this part. So how should we go about solving this problem? How do we get the title? So for that, obviously this scenario will maybe talk after 1 or 2 weekends, where we'll be talking about how to extract the data from image, how to store image, how to read text from image. The image extraction part we'll cover in a separate session. For time being, let's see how we can have a smarter solution to this. So let me just close this. So what we are doing here is we are taking the HTML attribute, and this is an image. Then how did I know that this is an image? If you go here, okay, it's just taking some time. So for example, this Indigo could not be loaded for, okay, it is still loading. Just let's wait for a minute here till the time. Okay, it loaded here. So this one we are not able to read, because it's an image. How would you know that this is an image? How would you debug that it was not able to read the title? If you were in a situation where you are doing the automation, how would you know the root cause of the application, why it is not, getting read here? So there are 2 ways. First one is go to application modeler. If you go to title 1, and if you come here, if you see that the tag name is image here, IMG is basically image, and if you go to the path ends with IMG only. So basically all the image has a tag of IMG tag. So this is the place where I got to know that this is a kind of image and I cannot read directly from the image. So this is ending with IMG1, and the tag name is also IMG. So this is clearly an image. To confirm that, what I did is went here, right click upon this Indigo and inspect. So this, whatever this you are seeing, this is called Google Developer Tools, Google Developers Tool, Developer Console. This is called Google Developer Console in Chrome, and in Mozilla they have a different name. You can use the same in Internet Explorer also. So here, if I go to this part and if I select this one, so this is the inspector. You have to select this before you select anything, any web element here. So I'm selecting the Indigo here, this particular one. As you can see here, it starts with IMG. So it's a clearly an image. IMG class equal to airline logo, SRC equal to skyscanner.net image.png. So basically it's a PNG image. So PNG are the, PNG is the extension of the image file. If I just edit this, so again guys, whatever I'm doing here, this is not necessary. I'm just showing you that this is an image. If I, for example, take this, paste it here, you see here, this is an image. So I took the URL from where it is getting loaded, and this is the image. So 49.png, this Indigo logo. This is the Indigo logo that we are seeing here, this one. Okay? So that is the reason our Blue Prism was not able to take the data from the image, because we have not implemented the solution of how to take the data from the image. So what I will do for this example is I'm going to replace this. I'm going to replace the title. Instead of, let's identify the title again. Okay, I'm going to override the title. So departure 1 and arrival 1 is fine because I'm getting all the data absolutely fine. Title is the one I'm not getting, and here I have this image part. So what I will do is I'll go to identify, and here we'll see something, a new trick here. So identify, go to yes, and then okay, we have this. So for example, this one, I want this one. So what I will do, instead of HTML mode, I do not want to take in HTML mode because HTML mode is giving me the, I would say, it is an image. So what I will take is that for now, I can take, let's use accessibility mode for this one. For others, we have used, region mode, but also understand that we can always use, combination of different modes. So for example, for few parts of the application, I can use HTML mode. However, for few parts of the application, I can take accessibility mode. It is my choice what I'll be using. So let's take accessibility mode and control and left click. If I take this, if I use the accessibility mode, and let's click on the match column, let's remove the empty ones. Initially, the empty ones, let's remove. And what I want is this part, Indigo here, not the parent name, the name. The name title is Indigo. So if there is a way where I can, access this name from the name of the attribute name, then I'm able to do it, right? So what I will do is that I will try to find a way where I will be, getting the value through the attribute name. So if I, for example, selected title1.name, the value I'll get is Indigo. Okay. So what I'll do here is I can remove others. Let's try to highlight this. It's highlighting fine. And what we'll do is we'll try to get this attribute title1.name, apply and OK. So I've already done it here. So somewhere it will be there. Okay. Value from. Now let's try to read this. So title 1 is fine. Now get AA attribute, I guess. This is the one, I guess, get AA attribute. So we come to this. This is for, basically for getting through attribute. Name of the attribute we'll put as name. So what attribute it was here? So see here, if I go back here, the title, this is attributes. Okay, these are attributes, and this is name of the attribute. So the name of the attribute was name only. So what we have? LMNOP, right? Name here only. Okay, so we'll fetch that. So read title, get AA attribute here, and let's store it in title only. And the name of the attribute is, let's put name here, and let's see if it is working. Okay. So I'm running this. Okay. Let's run it. And give me a minute. I'll be back in a minute. Let it run. Yeah, hello. So I hope all of you are able to hear me now. So as you can see here, we're getting the title now. Okay, Indigo. And this was something we were getting it before, and now we're able to fetch the title also. So did you understand what we did here? How we went to accessibility mode, how we used the get AA attribute, then how we used the name of the attribute to get the value. Any doubts here? Others in the call also let me know how we got it.
Yes, Prem, understood. So similarly, SpiceJet also will have a name like what you're saying, or is it also?
Yes, SpiceJet will have also a name. Okay. So you can try that by you have to go and override that, and for SpiceJet or any other airlines, they'll be having one name. Okay. Any doubts, guys? Here, let me know. If you understood everything, okay, that's good then. So so this is, we learned a lot of stuff here. So there are a lot of stuff that we have learned how to, use a dynamic weight here. So there are some dynamic weight that we have used. So this is a dynamic weight that we have used yesterday only. So how to use dynamic weight. So this is a very important question in terms of interview and in terms of certificate, I would say. What is dynamic weight and where to use the dynamic weight. So this is the dynamic weight that we are talking about, where we checked about the check exist if this element exists or not in the page. If it exists, then go and execute. If it does not exist for 10 seconds, then do some error handling. Then we also, this is the typical, I would say, static wait, where we are waiting for around 1 second. This is also a static wait. And we saw about thin client, thick client, and then global send key events. We discussed about all of this. How to use multiple modes in a single application, for example, HTML mode and accessibility mode. So we learned a lot of stuff in this example. I hope it was useful. What you can do, start doing as an application, from standpoint of view, you can start taking any website and start, automating a lot of stuff. If you are stuck somewhere while you're automating, then let me know. I'll be, helping you with whatever issue you're facing. We'll solve it together. And as an assignment, this is something we have not discussed, but if you want, you can try something new. Search in Google how things happen and try to find a solution. So in our website, rptraining.co.in, there is this link where it's a comparison of different tools. And if you can read all this data from the table where there is a detailed comparison, if you can read all this data and store it to an Excel sheet, then that will be also a very good use case. Okay, so we have not discussed about how to read tables from, how to read HTML tables from web elements. This is something you should take yourself. And anyway, it is not discussed, but try to find it by yourself. Try to search it in Google or search it in forum. Go to forums and find it by yourself if you are facing anything. And try to write it to an Excel sheet, all the data. And if you're not able to do, next class we are going to see how it is solved. Okay, how to solve this kind of application. Okay, and what else? So that's it. So there is some more topic to be discussed, like exception handling. Exception handling is something we have not discussed, and there are also some definitions when we discussed about exception handling, how exception propagates from one page to another. We'll see that, and we'll also see about work queue. So those are something we'll discuss from next class. So what I will do for that is I'll take one solution. I'll take one workflow that is that is already there. So actually, I found a very good explanation of this work queue and exception in YouTube. Okay, so I thought of explaining that to you guys because that is one of the best explanation that I found on the internet about the work queue part, exception handling and work queue. So either I'll be taking that example or for explaining work queue, because work queue is an very good concept. It's a very important concept in Blue Prism and one of the advanced concepts. And after we complete exception handling and work queue, then we're done with the web automation part. We'll see about how to capture image reading. We'll do some of OCR, and then we'll do Java automation, then mainframe automation. And there are a few topics like web services. And if we are done with that, then almost we'll be finishing that. But again, there are a lot of stuff. It will take, again around, I think around 2 to 3 weekends. It may take more than what we have planned for the classes. So let's see. Anyway, we'll complete everything. So any doubts? Because I don't want to explain a new topic today. We can stop here. If you have anything to discuss, you can let me know.
Prem, you were supposed to bring a expert, who will tell us, like Flipkart, Amazon, and all those stuff in terms of web automation. So
so basically, I didn't. You don't need an expert for that. So what I am going to bring is that I'll ask him, and that was not for Amazon or Flipkart. That was for a end-to-end solution. Okay, it seems he has a see, there are projects which I cannot show the client's project. We cannot show from our laptop or something, right? So he has he was working in a company where he has got the files from his previous company only. So I guess he was working with some company and he has all the files from the previous client. So that project got over now, and he has all the files and everything in his own personal computer only. So what I was thinking, if I can get everything from him, or get him on board so that he can show you the actual real-time project in a client environment, how everything is done, how requirement comes, that will be very beneficial for you guys. Okay, so I am I just spoke to him yesterday, and I guess he's okay with that. And again, if we do that, that is something we'll be do towards the end of the session, because I'm planning to cover everything in the Blue Prism part, the fundamental, and for the certification part. I want to cover everything. Once everything is over, then we'll see. And that is not only a web application example. We'll take one example, like I was just suggesting Amazon or Flipkart, and using that, we'll see how things work in real-time project. Okay, how requirement comes, how we start about like automating that, and all of that stuff. If we can show you, then that will be very great for you. Okay, so that is the reason I want to get him, and that is not only for web automation. That is for the overall RPA ecosystem that you'll be able to understand. So there will be a lot of stuff that we'll be explaining there which may not make sense to you. So let's complete Blue Prism learning first, then we'll get it. Okay?
Sure, no problems. But that is essential, because from a level perspective that I am in, it's very essential for me, to understand how requirements come in, how things get done, and because at my level, project management or overall management, that is more important.
Yes, I understood that. That is the reason. So there are, Jitu is also there, who has, a lot of experience, and he is onto kind of a management line. So, and Sagar is also there, who is have a kind of at a lead role. So because of this participants in this batch, normally, I have never done this in the previous batches. We have never done this, so I think it will be beneficial for you guys. So that is the reason, I'm planning to get him. Obviously, I have to pay him more, so that is, not the problem. But yeah, so surely, we'll show something. So he has taken one class. Okay, he has taken an one-to-one class for a senior guy. who has the lead role, and I have that recording as well. But the thing is that if I provide you the recording now, it will not make much sense. It will be I have that recording which explains end to end of the flow. Kind of. I have not gone through that, but kind of. So if he does not come, then I'll try to find something. Anyway, I have the recording, but I'll try my best to get him so that he can explain everything and he can show that project, because the advantage he has is he has that real-time client project. So I also, wanted to have that explanation. So that will be good for everyone, okay? Otherwise, it's very difficult to show a actual client project. If someone has it, then we should leverage that. So I'll try my best to get it. It is not a problem for me. Okay?
Thank you, Prem.
Okay. Others in the call, anything you want to discuss, guys?
I was not able to find.
Sorry?
I was not able to find that version 6, Prem Sagar here.
Version 6 you are not able to find?
No.
Let me check now.
Maybe if you
I
can.
had uploaded it. I'm not sure 2 days or
Yeah.
I told you yesterday that
right?
I uploaded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. My bad. Sorry.
What? You got it?
Yeah, got it. I was just navigating to somewhere else. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. Okay. Anything else, guys?
Prem, hi, this is Jitu.
Yeah, Jitu, tell me.
I have a couple of queries with regards to one of the assignments we had. And I think I will have to show you, so I'll have to probably share my system with you.
Okay. Which assignment?
So it's basically about copying and pasting of column on the basis of one data item that we have.
Okay, that married and unmarried stuff. That married and unmarried stuff you are telling.
Yeah. So I extended it to three, basically on three. So the example that we had was around married and unmarried.
Yes, I understood. So, Jitu, one thing that, did you go through the video that we have explained? I have explained.
Yeah. I mean, it was absolutely all right. I mean, I was able to work on the assignment, but I wanted to try out something
else. Okay. So, I'm switching. I'm making you the presenter. So, if you can share the screen.
Okay.
Wait, let me check. Okay, I guess you are the presenter now. Let me stop recording this, so maybe if you can share. Are you getting an option to share screen?
Yes, 1 second.
And Prem, I also went into that folder and I can't find that this one, virtual machine, to download that stuff. VirtualBox, I understand. I can go from Oracle, but I couldn't find it.
Okay. So link I have not uploaded there yet. I'll put the link there. Okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, I can just ping you now. Just 1 second. I'll just give you that link so that you can go ahead and download that. Make sure you don't have a power cut in between, and this is the one, I guess, Windows 7 VM June 25. Yeah. So let me share this. So I'm just pinging it here.
Okay.
Okay, let me ping to everyone. So any one of you want this link, you can go ahead and download this. I'll send a mail with this maybe whenever you are. Just 1 minute, Jitu. Just give me a minute. We'll see that.
Yeah, take your time, please.
Okay, this is the one. It should be around 15 GB, I guess. So 14 or 15 GB. So download this. So I suggest go download it at night only. Otherwise, sometimes due to power cut and all, or if you have that there is software for download manager or something, right? There is IDM, Internet Download Manager. Then it should work fine. IDM. Otherwise, it will be a waste of time if some power went off.
Sure.
Okay.
And Prem, can you add this to the Excel sheet as well? This link. That would be better that way. So let me just take
this link
now.
Okay,
because,
fine.
Because I'm right now in my official computer. That's the reason you're able.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Do not browse this there then. Okay, I'll just add there. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Jitu, tell me what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this. So on the similar lines, around the example that we had around married and unmarried.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to declare a VAT status on the basis.
Yeah. Just give me 1 second. So others in the call, if you are interested in this, we're just discussing a problem he is facing. If you can stay here, if you want to know what exactly is happening. Otherwise, if you are planning to go somewhere, you can drop off because we are, actually done with the class. We're just discussing a particular issue here. Okay.
Supriya
Yeah,
here.
tell me.
Okay.
Hello.
Can I speak? Supriya here.
Yeah, Supriya.
I said you that the password issue, right?
Your voice, it's not clear. Your voice is not clear.
Can you hear me now? No.
Kind of. Yeah, tell me. Yeah.
No. Yeah, I was just telling you about the password. I said the password is not working. I'm not sure why it happened. I saw your video and I tried to do like that, but the the SQL code something I couldn't get that one. So what I thought to uninstall the one which I have and install the new one. So can I have that link or whatever in your Google Drive so that I can do it by tonight?
Okay. So okay, fine. So you have forgotten your Blue Prism password, right?
Actually, no, I'm not. Because a week back, last week also I had logged in and I worked out a little bit. I'm not sure why it suddenly shows me invalid password. I tried many probabilities actually. I'm not sure why.
Okay, Supriya. So see, your voice is somewhat breaking. What we'll do is after the call, sometime I will call you maybe around 12 o'clock, and we'll see what exactly is happening. And whatever you are saying, I'll do that. Okay, whatever you want, all the files I'll share. I'll share the video where it explains how to install it, and if you need any other help also, I'll do. Let's discuss it after around 12 o'clock, okay? Because it's not clearly audible, so yeah.
Okay. That's fine. You just text me whenever you're free. It's not compile. I can't compile you by 12 only. Okay, just get free time and ping me. I'll call you and we'll make it on. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Yeah, Jitu, go ahead.
Being stuck here. So what I'm trying to do is, on the basis of percentage, I've classified green, red, and right, and I'm able to get this here. The current value I'm able to fetch from a particular file from a folder. So
why is your text are not that good? Your some of your here name, type, and description. There's some half it is coming.
Yeah, that's how it shows up.
It sometimes happens. It happened with me also once. I'm not sure. So, okay. Anyway, so
let's see. I mean, we can probably sit on it. I mean, it's not a showstopper from now. So it's like
okay.
Now, what I'm trying to do is, on the basis of this decision box, I want separate a couple of other columns to come up on these. collection.
So you are already able to populate the collection?
One of the collections, yes, but not on the basis of this amber or red. But I'm doing it. I'm getting an error message, so I'll show it to you. See, until here, everything is fine, and the file is getting uploaded into the main collection.
Mm-hmm.
And from where we have to define that, on the basis of if it is an amber, then I would require these two data items, maybe the team status and the team name, to show up. This is where it is getting saved.
So are you getting the error, the collection has no row? That is the error you are getting?
Yes.
So see, I think those kind of error happens if your collection does not have. Can you just open this one, Ember, this one, Ember, the action state? No, not the collection, action state. This one here, Ember. Okay, and this is add row you are doing, right?
Yes.
You are doing add row here, so it should add one empty row, and click on OK and go to this one, red.
Collection?
Go to red action. Here also you are just adding a row. Okay. Now show me the collection once, both Ember and red collection, wherever you are trying to write both collection. And okay. Team and status. Collection has no row, right? Add row. Missing link in create something is there.
This was some of the collections that I would have prepared and I'm not using it.
So can you do one thing? Because I want to be able to debug from here. Can you do one thing? Can you give me this one? Can you give me this file? Go to file.
Sure.
File here. Go to file. And no, not to file. This is saved, right? Close this one. What is the name of this? What is the name of this process?
It says on my own.
On my own, okay. Go to file. Go to the main file. Close this. Go to the main file. Main box. Go to file.
Yeah.
And go to export. Go to process or object. And export that. Process. Go to next. And process on my own, or that one, I guess. Yeah. Go to next and store it. Yeah. So store it somewhere. And this XML file, please send. Please attach this and send. Email this to me.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, and I'll look into that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, Jittu. Thanks.
Thanks. And can we probably sometime have a look? Why is it showing up in a weird manner?
So that is I don't know. It happened sometime with me also when I was using version 6. Okay, it happened with me also. I'm not sure. This how I know that. So I'll see what we can. Oh God.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah, so what I'll do is, otherwise, you can go ahead and download this one, the VM. Okay. Otherwise, you can use the VM directly if it is not there, because I'm not sure what those kind of issue are. You can download this VM otherwise. I'll share the VM link and you can download that, okay? Also, we'll see you sometime. Okay then guys, thanks. Thanks for joining. Bye guys, bye everyone.